Here is Bullet Breeze, and Breeze, as we're calling him, is a 16 two-hand, 6-year-old thoroughbred gelding by Golden Lad. I've had quite a few Golden Lad horses over the years, and that is a Medaglia d'Oro line. This horse had 37 career starts, so kind of pretty average for a 6-year-old, I would say. And in those 37 starts, he made $133,000 at the track, and he last ran on May 16th, so he's just exactly about 2 weeks since his last start. And he got here, when did he get here? A couple of days ago. He's not been here for very long. And I'll tell you, the funny thing about this horse is I love him. I think he's absolutely gorgeous, and he's a gem of a horse. I mean, he just has everything about him is beautiful. I love everything about how he's put together. But he has this gorgeous face and these huge, kind, intelligent eyes, and his personality is exactly that. I mean, the horse is just lovely. There's nothing about him I don't like. But I actually didn't want him, and I tried really hard to not take him because this past week, once he arrived, I had 15 horses, and mind you, I only have 12 stalls, and I do 80% of the barn work. I have finally caved and gotten some help with afternoon chores, but I do almost all the barn work, just me and Billy. So having 15 horses is a ton of horses to take care of. It's a ton of horses to ride. It was way too much. So I really didn't want him, and I tried to get other people to take him, and it just didn't work out. Nobody else could take him. And basically I was being told that he was in a pinch and he really needed a spot. He needed somewhere good to go. And so of course I'm a sucker. So I sort of begrudgingly said, "Fine, I'll take him," not wanting him at all. And now I'm so glad he's here. I mean, I'm just so glad that everything, sort of forced his way here because he's absolutely lovely and I'm thrilled to have him. And I can't tell you how often that happens. And it really makes me chuckle because sometimes I think I actually have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just lucky that these lovely horses keep showing up, like this guy. And so he is just wonderful to ride, to handle on the ground. Everything about him is just very gentle and easygoing. This is going to be a great first restart type horse for somebody. And I know I just did a first ride on the creamsicle horse, whose name is Agenda. And I said the same thing. And I know I just have this barn full of just very easygoing types of horses right now. I feel like I'm doing so much kicking. I'm kind of exhausted at the end of the day from riding because all of these horses are just really quiet-minded types, which is wonderful. I'm not complaining about it, but I just happen to have a great group of horses right now that are just very laid back. And if someone is looking to do their first restart, I would need you to be working with a trainer and have a great support team in order for me to feel comfortable placing a horse with you. But I do have a couple right now that are just great candidates for that sort of thing. So the hardest thing about this ride here with Bullet Breeze is that he was long in the toe and he still has his racing plates on, and so he's got pretty big grabs on behind. So actually right there, if you were watching behind, it looked like he kind of tripped a step. Well, he's not. What's happening is the grabs are kind of getting stuck in the footing, and so every once in a while you'll see him it almost kind of looks like he's tripping a step behind. He's not actually tripping. His grabs are just getting stuck in the footing. And to ride, it actually doesn't look bad on the video, but I'll tell you, to ride, I could really feel it, and it was super annoying. And the second we finished this ride, we pulled off his hind shoes. So hopefully he's not sore behind now. But if he is, that's all right. He'll be okay in a couple of days. Those hind shoes just had to come off. It really sort of felt like we were just trying to ride in quicksand, which was quite an awful feeling. And he was such a good sport about just kind of ignoring it and going on with things, as thoroughbreds usually do, because they tend to be good sports. But anyway, so that was not his fault. And I'm sure he will feel so much better next time out without those hind shoes on. And he'll also get seen by the farrier this week, so we'll get our toes shortened up and all that good stuff. So he's going to be on the market at way less than what I would place him at if he didn't have he has a small to moderate sized oscillate on the left front ankle. I see this sort of thing all the time. It's cold and it's set. In my opinion, you can sort of treat it like a splint. Once they're set, the horse is going to be sound. It should never come back to be an issue, kind of like a splint. And it won't impact his career options. That being said, he's not going to go on to be a 4 or 5 star horse, probably not a 3 star horse either. But he doesn't really strike me as the type of horse that wants to do that to begin with. So I think that this is going to be a great mid-level horse for somebody. I can see him absolutely killing it at like training level. Probably modified would be well within his realm of scope and possibilities. But he just doesn't strike me as the type of horse that wants to move his feet so fast that he's going to be an upper level horse to begin with. And then you pair that with the fact that he's got this Oslet, and so why would you? I'm certainly not selling him on as an upper level prospect. I don't think that's what he wants to do anyway. So Oslets, once they're cold and set, they really pose no problems as the horse goes on in their next career. But of course, I'm stating it. It is there. If you're familiar with racehorses, then certainly this is not going to be a new term to you. If you're not familiar, you should talk to an educated vet who is familiar with racehorses. And they should tell you that it won't be a big deal. And his is not large. I've seen way huger Oslets than this, and horses go on to have great careers with them. So this is, to me, it's not concerning. I see it all the time. In fact, I should mention that one of my personal horses, Sunshine Dandy, who actually is now with my friend Martha, but nonetheless, he has an old Oslet. He came off the track as a 6-year-old too, actually. Now he's 12, but he came off the track as a 6-year-old. He has an Oslet on his left front ankle, and now he's going modified, and we're hoping that he's going to be an intermediate horse for her. So, but he's a totally different type of horse in that he's just way more up and more bloodish, and so he does he oozes the upper level horse type. He's not nearly as chill as this lovely horse. But the Oslet has never ever been a problem, and I do not think it ever will be, and it just is what it is. So the next time I ride this horse, besides the fact that he won't have hind shoes on, I'll certainly be wearing some little spurs because getting him going was a little bit of a chore. But as always with these guys, I would prefer that they be relaxed and chill and the type of horse that you get to put your leg on, because it's so easy to add extra little things like a little pair of spurs. And that was such a cute little canter transition he did for that left lead. He also did a really nice transition for the right lead. And his thing when you're riding him is he actually finds the right easier than the left, which goes against the grain a little bit, but it's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter. They all have an easier side and a side that they find slightly more challenging. So he wants to lean on his left shoulder a little bit. So having a little pair of spurs on will also certainly help with that. But all in all, this is this horse's first post-track ride. He's 2 weeks off the track, and he just sort of wants to plod around the ring and be quiet and easy and do whatever it is you're asking him to do. So I couldn't be happier with him, and he's just absolutely gorgeous and sweet in every way.